Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they...
Hey everyone, Pine Grove News Live. Let's certainly hope that are also live on YouTube. I really don't have time during the week to check these things out, so we're experimenting. Worked a couple days ago. Yeah, I know that music should have stopped. Turn the volume down and wait for it to stop. Okay, so anyway, should stop in a second. Go. So it's 6:02 p.m. here on the East Coast. It is October 3rd already, folks. You know, 2 days. It's the last time I reported it. In 2 days, I think we got a little touch of yellow turning on the trees. I'm just going to pray that we do not have another October storm. The seasons are definitely late.
2 days, I think we got a little bit.
Turn the echo over here. I'm afraid that if I turn this off, I will not hear anything on the video. Did it the last time.
Seasons are definitely late.
Work that out later. But what we got in the news today? What we got in the news? Yeah, it's been a good day here. I mean, typical weather, I guess. It was a little warmer than past week. But yeah, anyway, seasons change. So we're going to talk about a few things. Weather, of course, we're going to talk about because we have two hurricanes, one in the east, one in the west. They'll have that typhoon. Not going to talk about Kavanaugh and that made up story of Dr. Ford and all the other made up stories. Okay, it's all just a delay tactic. We all know that. Hoping that he will not be confirmed until after the midterms. That's not going to happen anymore. And just want to report also, did you receive your emergency presidential alert today? Did you get that today? I got mine. I'm on a no-call list, and I'm on a track phone. And if he could get my phone, well, he can get your phone. So I don't know if it came on TV. I thought I heard, the emergency alert. I did get it on my phone, but anyways, a couple things I want to mention about that. Dabu came out and reported that the other day, 2 days ago. Oh, hey, no, it's 2 days ago on Monday. Yeah, and he said 218, and even though the article said 208, I just assumed that it was 208. So Dabu was right. I don't know how he got that information corrected and found the right time, but it was at 2:18 p.m. on the East Coast, 11:18 on the West Coast. And so, anybody, tell me, what happened for 30 minutes? Wasn't it supposed to last for 30 minutes? In any case, Mr. President, Mr. Trump, it worked. And yes, you can contact us if the internet goes down. Now, I wish we could do it the other way around as well, so we could give him updates on what's going around. I thought for sure that something else might have been said during that 30 minutes. I thought, because of all these things that are happening, I think the president is just giving the cabal, the, deep state time. They've already gotten much time to pack and leave. So if he ever declares martial law, and this alert system goes into effect, and so on and so forth, I think it'll be too late. He should have done it already. That's just my opinion. And yeah, me of all people, I kind of agree with the martial law as long as it is temporary and for the reasons that Mr. Trump says so. But don't be fooled, people. I still have, he is still a politician now. So he's been informed and all this other stuff, who's in charge. I don't know if he's just playing us all to accept this martial law. I mean, if I, of all people, myself, can be okay with him setting martial law to go and checkpoints, all this other stuff to find these people. Well, I'm sorry, if he's going to do that martial law now I would have to wonder about that, because they've already had plenty of time to leave, to escape, to take all their money and whatever, go to some island, especially where they have no extradition papers or agreements. Surely they will go there. In any case, let's get on with the rest of the news. And Amazon, and these are the things that I do not have links for, so just something I got off the PC yesterday after I did the news. Amazon employees are getting raises. Good for them. Nobody else is. Well, I can't say nobody else is, but there are a lot of people who are not getting raises, haven't had them in years. Matter of fact, their hours have been cut, bringing them down to part-time, all that insurance stuff that has to do with that. And to my brother in Northern California, World Watchman. Yep, brother, you are definitely right. I know I argue with you on the phone. We do that a lot. Well, we don't argue, we kind of debate, but sometimes it gets, a little nasty. Long Valley, yeah, Caldera. That's where it is from, in Yosemite. Okay, that is, because the reason why we're talking about this is because of, let me find it, there was a volcano eruption, and I don't think I have it down here, but I did, my notes I needed to tell you, should be in here. There was a, in Indonesia, I mean, after the earthquake and the tsunami, I'm going to show you, hopefully I'll have another picture of that tsunami. It's a picture of somebody on top of their house or whatever, shed, some building, and they're riding the tsunami. And it's just eerie. Hopefully I'll have that as well. So this from GeekWire. This was a test. I know I still got to look for those other two articles. Still got to talk about the California caldera. But give me a minute here. So first we'll start with this. This was a test. Presidential Trump messages. Millions using emergency alert system. Okay. You see a picture of everybody standing up getting their alert. That is just amazing. So this is why. This is your data from the CIA, the FBI, and whoever else, whatever other alphabet soup number there is. All the information. You own a phone, they know exactly who you are, where you are, what you like, what you eat, what you don't eat.
This is your data.
You know, what movies you see, everything. How much milk you have in your refrigerator. Yeah. So the nation received a text message from President Trump today. And it wasn't a tweet. It was just a test. So, according to this, a special test of the Federal Emergency Management Agency's national presidential alerts went out to millions of cell phone users across the country. So apparently it was just a test, just the cell phones. It doesn't say TV. The test was of the wireless emergency alert system. I bet you didn't know that. I know I didn't know that. Apparently it was just a test of the Wi-Fi. You know, this is why President Trump is for, he is very much for 5G. And I ask yourself why. I mean, I know there's a lot of money involved, and I know he's, you know, he's the money guy. Anyways, this is basically what it looked like on your phone.
Very much for 5G.
So yeah, I can still hear my echo back there, so I'm really don't know whether I should shut this volume off. I know I got somebody in here, so if you guys can hear, whoever's listening on Mixler, if you hear an echo, I would like to know whether you can hear it or not. I hear a slight echo, but the last time I did this, I shut it off, and there was no volume on the video. That was too happy about that one. I don't hear the echo when the video is played back, if I leave it like this, but I hear it while it's playing, while it's being recorded. So anyway, let's just move on. So let's go on to this. Alright, so I hope I'm not going in a bunch of circles here. So we got the alert system. We have, and the reason why I'm talking the volcano. Yes, it's got to be. Thought I had a link here to that volcano that went off. Don't see it, but anyways, there is. Trying to get the name of the. Oh, maybe it's on my PC. So see it. So anyway, California, and the reason why they're bringing this out, and you're hearing a lot about this, you know, California and this super volcano that they have there. Okay, that's being talked about a lot, and we got an article today about it. You know, 240 cubic miles of magma under this super volcano. Of course, they say it hasn't erupted in over 750,000 years or something like that, and but there's a lot of warnings and rumors going out there, you know, like usual, about you know, the West Coast, you know, being ready. I would too. You know, we've been tracking these 6+ pointer earthquakes for the past month and a half now, and yeah, month and a half, and they are just in that area of Indonesia and around there. They have been concentrated in there, even though they're still in the Ring of Fire. The majority of all earthquakes, about 70% of them come from the Ring of Fire. But this is in this concentrated area. I mean, I have not gone to Dutch Sense yet and found out or asked them any questions about what that could mean possibly. But you know, it means enough for people to come out with warnings. Now, I would, you know, worry very much about it myself with all that activity down there. And you know, the West Coast up there in off the coast of Washington and Oregon. I'm not sure. I forget what the heck it was called. But anyway, there was a movement of the mantle. You know, probably almost 2 years now, maybe just a year. I don't know, year or 2 years. Where Fox even came out and said for everyone, and that was very unusual, for everyone to be on alert for the big one. And then you got the San Andreas Fault. And if those two go off, San Andreas being southern west coast, and this other one up there, which had the movement, northern west coast, between, like I said, Washington and Oregon, they're still waiting for that slip back. You know, that little pressure plate popping up. You know, they haven't got that yet. They're still waiting on that, and that's supposed to happen. So with all that going on, I mean, maybe there's just some kind of pressure that's, I don't know. I would be even more prepared. I would pay attention to those warnings right now. But go over to DutchSense.com. Okay. He has done this for a long time, and he does a better job than the USGS and any of the other ones out there. As a matter of fact, they don't like him too well. They refute his findings and so on and so forth. He comes pretty close to actually predicting, the time and dates of these volcanoes. Pretty darn close, if not right on with a lot of them. So, yeah, now we know that there is a super volcano under California, and it has been rising over the past few years, and so is Yellowstone. That has been rising and swelling. So yeah, I mean, with all this other stuff, Christians, man, come on, you got to know that these are the birth pains that we're going through, that the Bible talks about. That all these things that are going on with the earthquakes, and heavenly things, asteroids and meteorites. I don't have that article either, but there was a meteorite that came down and exploded over some area, remote area, and nobody reported on that except that article. And I went right past it because I don't know why. There's a lot of news out there, and I had to pick. So, but these things come down all the time. They don't tell us about it. Other meteorites have flown by, and they have not told us about it. Especially one that's only a tenth of a distance between us and the moon away. I mean, they're not going to tell you either. But people will panic. I don't blame them for not telling you. I mean, I would know because I wouldn't panic. But I would like to know. And it would be very hard for me to keep that secret because I know that people would get hurt. People would panic. They quit their jobs, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. It would just not be good to tell them. So, in any case, let's go to this weather, which has a lot to do with this too. And here, right now, Category 3 in the West Coast. I'm sorry, in the Pacific. Hurricane Sergio is now a Category 3. And, Rosa, who had landfall a couple days ago, and apparently flooding New Arizona, I guess. Though other people are reporting that there is no flooding. So if anybody knows anybody from Arizona, did you get all the flooding that they reported? Or at least the mainstream reported? I just heard from somebody else that, you couldn't find anybody who saw any flooding. I don't know. We definitely need to have more communication with the people. You all have cell phones. Start reporting this stuff. Start taking pictures and videos. There are a lot of people out there that are willing, that you may know, that will take this information and spread it out there. And let's do it the right way. Stop relying on this mainstream media and hoping that your alternative media has the story. Well, he may not have the story because you're not giving it to him. We all have to play that role. But I wanted to make mention, not only do we have this Category 3 Sergio in the Southern Pacific, okay, but if you see off to the left, that one that I was talking about 2 days ago, it's still out there spinning. I've seen other things, other thunderstorms. They even, reported rainstorm, a tropical rainstorm. They put on the list as a hurricane, on the hurricane tracking list. And this thing out there that's been spinning for few days now, they're not naming. It's going left of Hawaii right now. Probably on the same, parallel line there. So, but anyway, and that's not all. We still have, in the West Pacific, we have that Typhoon Kong-ray. Okay, a couple of days ago, it was the 6th super typhoon of 2018. It has weakened a little bit. Those who are watching live or may watch this video later, it's still pretty big. Let's go read out what's going on down there. Let's see. Centered about 340 miles southeast of Okinawa, Japan. Kong-ray is tracking towards the northwest at about 10 miles per hour. The highest sustained winds are close to 100 miles per hour, which, I don't know, probably almost a Cat 2 hurricane. Go with gusts up to 140. So again, the World Watchman, he keeps telling us, and I don't know, maybe it's true. All kinds of, speculation and conspiracy theories. I mean, he keeps telling me that we're in some kind of weather war, okay? And that China, Japan, and all those countries in that area have had so much rain in these typhoons. I mean, it's just one after the other. Last year it was like 2 or 3, one after the other. And these things now, this year, are superstorms, super typhoons. Yeah, I mean, how much rain can you actually take before you just become part of the whole ocean? Right? I don't know, but so we still got that churning out there too. And of course, like I said, they won't track it on the hurricane tracking list because it's not a hurricane. It's a typhoon, just like the ones in the Far East are cyclones, hurricanes. Anyway, and so let's go to the Atlantic, to Hurricane Leslie. Now a Cat 1 hurricane. I believe it might have turned this morning to be a Cat 1. But other than that, everything else seems kind of sporadic, and the normal stuff in Central America and South America there. A lot of little thunderstorms. But we're going to have to watch this Leslie, because it looks like she is going northeast, and with all that wind that I see tracking now, it should just go right up like it normally does, straight up north and then over to the UK and stuff like that. But like I do twice a day, I watch that, especially now, hurricane season coming to a close soon, I guess, right? Some people said it might be the first week in November that it ends. I'm not sure. So, talked about that. California. Well, let's talk about Iran. Let's talk about some provocations that happened today. Iran's IRGC super speedboats close encounter with the USS Theodore Roosevelt. Excuse me. And there's a 50-second clip here, which I will play. And it's these idiotic little, I don't know, what do you call it, like little gnats or something, these little bugs that get to your screen, even though you have a screen, and they're very nuisome. Yeah, so there's a bunch of these speedboats. I mean, I'm surprised that they were not attacked. So this footage was just released, shows Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guards speedboat in close proximity to the USS Theodore Roosevelt. The incident, which purportedly took place in March, occurred in the strategic Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf. So this apparently, they got a day on it, March, so I don't know why they're saying
Heartland یا قلب زمین
So this was not new provocation, so I apologize for that. I missed that. I am just surprised that they were not attacked. Just imagine, you know, you're an aircraft carrier, Nimitz class, and you got, at least probably a dozen of these speedboats coming up. I would at least gave them warning shots. But anyway, I thought that was new provocation, so I apologize for that. I guess it was just added there to fool me because, I mean, Iran, you know, with their missiles that they set off the other day, you know, threatened the U.S. Let's see. Let's go with the one. China also. Yeah, here we go. This one. Now the end begins. As trade tensions soar, Chinese warships come within 45 yards of the destroyer Decatur, forcing evasive military action. 45 yards. Can you imagine that? Two destroyers, 45 yards apart. You know, that's less than half the size of a football field, if you imagine that. So anyways, in this written statement emailed to Navy Times, Pacific Fleet officials say that a Luoyang-class destroyer closed on the Decatur around 8:30 a.m. local time Sunday in an unsafe and unprofessional manner near Gavin Reef, making a series of increasingly aggressive maneuvers that were accompanied by warnings for the Decatur to leave the area. Chinese vessel came within 45 yards of the Decatur's bow before the American warship veered off to prevent a collision. I mean, yeah, this. You know what's crazy about this? What's crazy about this, and you should know this, right? That in that area, in the what's it, the Yellow Sea or the Spratly Islands. These are the islands that are in international waters. Okay, and the world watched and did nothing while China went down there and with their dredges, you know, took up sand and bottom from the ocean and piled it on top of these little reefs and made them into islands in international waters. And then they built runways and missile sites and other anti-aircraft defenses. Well, we talked about that too. You know, they're talking about this bitter trade dispute between China and the U.S., you know, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's still going on. I just think it's still just all a big stage. I really do think it's a big stage, and the bullies these days are Iran and China. Apparently, North Korea is not the bully anymore. Okay. So anyway, so, you know, that happened over the weekend, apparently. This is the video on top of this roof, and there goes my alarm. Apparently, my wife came home. So the first is somewhat shaky but remarkable for showing large structures in motion, including, and I saw this, a transmission tower. Now you would think that thing would have toppled over once it starts moving. But this transmission tower, let's watch it. It's about 2 minutes. 2 minutes 6 seconds and everything. It's just an awesome video and very scary. Here we go. You can hear all the limbs and things moving, obviously. Trees are coming down. Buildings are passing their building. It's amazing. Hands all around. Sometimes it gets very shaky. I don't blame them. life and find that you're moving. Other things are not moving. Trees are just falling down. Houses, like I said, are just going past the house that you're on. And the next thing you see is a transmission line. It's a tower. It's a long metal tower with probably some type of receivers on the top, and it is floating past the horizon. It's just going. That was here. I don't know how they got that thing to stand up while it was moving, not fall down. Plows its way around you, everything, taking everything in its path just about. This is probably one of the best experiences, well, best. This is probably the experience.
You want to get a sense of what it's like
do that
in a tsunami.
So I will leave that link for you. That was just something.
Taking everything in its path.
Yeah, this was the other one. It's from Strange Sounds. After the deadly earthquake and tsunami, Spotted volcano erupts in Sulawesi, Indonesia. That's like strike 3, isn't it? You know, earthquake 7.7, tsunami.
Yeah, this was the
killing thousands.
After the deadly earthquake, tsunami.
Then a volcano going off.
So
this Sopitan volcano had started erupting in Sulawesi, Indonesia, just after the island was struck by a deadly and catastrophic 7.5 earthquake on September 28th. It is unknown if the earthquake had triggered the eruption, but these are two major geological phenomena to hit Sulawesi in 5 days, or within 5 days. Need to pray for those people over there in Indonesia.
September 28th.
Oh, you're talking about, you know, Japan. Anyways, that is the hot spot. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to remember the name of this guy who does. He does a lot of monitoring of the sun. I used to watch him all the time, but yeah, he had mentioned something about, you know, when you get hurricanes, whatever, typhoons or whatever, passing over an area, I mean, that's going to affect the pressure. It obviously makes the pressure go up or down, and in that, you know, will release, that will jog some of the earth underneath, right? And so you normally see, you know, earthquakes, if not bigger earthquakes, some distance away or some very close to these passing storms. All in, you know, it's all related, interchanged. Anyways, that was just to think about what's going over, not only in Japan, China with those typhoons, and all of them just seems to, you know, basically go around Hawaii. I mean, they got hit a few times, but rain and the wind. Let's see. But I wanted to put out there, but I don't have the link on this tablet to send to you. But you can go to what is it? Natural News. There's two of them there, but this one I want to tell you is from World Tribune. It's quite a few days old, but it is the Planned Parenthood's the death toll, okay, in 2017. So in 2017, their total death toll from these Planned Parenthood, okay, and was 321,384. That is the murder rate there. Yep. So in 2017, I don't know. You should probably go to Natural News. I go there quite a bit, and he's got a lot of good information, and he has the data to back it up. I was just concerned because there was a couple items there like toothpaste and Kleenex that we use every day that has these chemicals in them. You know that, right? But this stuff that they make, it's not. Anyways. So from Natural News, do you brush with hand sanitizer is the question. Recently banned in hand washing products. The chemical is still found in toothpaste.
You know that, right?
Now, what is that chemical? Yeah, well,
do you brush with hand sanitizer?
Cavity-free teeth and healthy gums are less prone to infections. These bacteria can't easily multiply and weaken the immune system of someone who makes it a point to practice oral hygiene. A person who brushes his teeth regularly can smile and laugh more freely, and he has more confidence to show off those pearly whites and make as many friends as possible. Anyways, the hidden dangers. The innocent-looking toothpaste tube a person squeezes 3 times a day after a meal. Okay. According to U.S. Food and Drug Administration, banned the chemical triclosan, 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 in over-the-counter antiseptic soaps, gels, and wipes because research has shown that it can disrupt hormones in animals and humans, contribute to antibiotic resistance, and harm organisms in the water. Okay, so triclosan is still allowed as an ingredient in toothpaste because it can reportedly reduce gum inflammation, plaque, and cavities. Triclosan can also be found in clothing, cookware, and other products. Cookware, thinking about Teflon, coated pans, right? Well, he's got another one there. Do you use Kleenex tissues? Top seller now guilty of adding skin corrosive detergent, sodium lauryl sulfate, in your Kleenex tissues. I always wonder why the soft tissue, supposedly with some additive to make it more soft, and you still come up with a red, seemingly rubbed, worn, marks. It's not the corrosive, right? So in America, there is always some toxic medicine for every ailment that can be helped things and get worse. The flu shot can assist you in getting a worse case of the flu the following year. Anyway, children's cough syrup often contains toxic food coloring and aspartame. Yeah, we've heard about that chemical. Not a good one. And one of the world's most dangerous food additives ever, aspartame. Yeah. All right, so that's all I wanted to get there that I didn't have links to. And there's a bunch of articles out there about something going on in CERN, and it's not, a lot of concerns. One article was talking about Earth could be crushed by a particle accelerator. And there was an article 2 days ago also talked about CERN, that if something went wrong with CERN, they could actually end up it's almost like crushing it, kind of shrinking it in size. I don't know what the science is behind it, but it could shrink the Earth to about 330 feet. Can't imagine what's going to happen to everything else on there. Die instantly? I don't know. But this is what CERN, what the could be problems. And, I still don't get why they're, besides, Prince of the Airwaves, has everything, or does these things on purpose. If he had a choice, he would just wipe out humanity. He hates us, and he will try and kill us as much as he can and enjoy it while he's doing it. Maybe even torture. So this one from Natural Blaze. Get your flu shot or you're gonna die. As the hysteria campaign gears up, here are some amazing natural flu remedies and preventatives. Yeah, so I'll just leave you the link for that in case you want an alternative for the flu remedies and preventatives. I'm not going to go into it. There's not just not enough time. But yeah, big push for it here. I mean, our mainstream media news had to come out and explain to us that 80,000 people died from the flu or its flu-related whatever. 80,000 people. That figure is just, you know, went into my head and almost blew up. I mean, no way. There's no way that there was 80,000 people. Maybe if the whole world was figured in that, okay? But even with that whole figure of the whole world for this one flu, which changes every year, okay? 80,000? No way. No, it's not that much. No, not. I don't even think it's even close. No, and the ones who unfortunately are more susceptible to that are children and older people. You hear about elderly people dying from the flu more than anybody else.
80,000? No way. No, it's not that much. No, not even. I don't even think it's
crazy stuff out there, man.
No, and
so down to my last article here. Israel threatens Syria's S-300s. You know, the ones the Russians gave them.
Dying from the flu more than anybody else.
Calls delivery a serious escalation. If true.
Down to my last article here. Israel.
You know, Israel's already in that war against bombing, you know, whatever, truckloads, truck convoys, you know, factories that supposedly are, you know, have Iranians in them, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. You have somebody step up and tell the whole world that they're going to do whatever they can to wipe Israel off the map, and even, you know, make maps and not include Israel in it. Yeah, I would think you would have to worry about that and what they could do. And so, you know, that everything goes on. Just another day. Same old, same old. Threats, poisonings, killings, murdering, you know, hateful, just vile time. This is the time like no other time. Close to being like the time of Noah. And these are the days that we are to be looking out for. When you can get 6% of the population, you know, to turn the media, the mass media, and everyone else into making our children, you know, at such young ages. And that's, you know, minds that are very, they absorb a lot of things. And so they take these children and they teach them about homosexuality, perversion, and all this other stuff. They, you know, even show films, you know, cartoon-style films of how to pleasure someone else of the same sex, and all this stuff is included, and that's out there in our societies. This 6% has managed to do all that. Well, of course, it's had help. But it's, anyways, we're in definitely tumultuous times. I have peace in the majority of this most of the time. That peace is Jesus Christ, of course. Didn't have him, there would be no sense of anything. A lot of it doesn't make sense anyway, but because of him and what he's done for us, what he's done for me, what he's done for you. You gotta admit it, you Christians that are following him, he's done a lot of things for you. I'm not just talking about the main reason he came, you know, to die for our sins, to get rid of the curse that Adam and Eve had applied to our future lives because of their disobedience. But in any case, he is the peace. He is the Prince of Peace. You have that other Prince of the airwaves, this ugly, self-righteous, me angel that, anyway, let's just not go there. We could talk about that some other time. But that's it for the news. So everyone, it's Wednesday, hump day, whatever you want to call it, midweek. Let's call it midweek. I really don't like the word hump day anymore. Everything is out there that's in commercials and everything else, and it's true, but it's unfortunate, that they just try to sell sex in almost every single agenda and way that they can. And so that's what our generations and the ones that come after are going to learn. And hopefully somewhere along the line, the Lord will allow us, maybe, as a tool to maybe help stop some of this. And there is an article out there, and it was supposed to be the #1 article. I just figured it out, and it's not there. But I'm telling you, I know what it was. Yeah. I'm sorry. This is what we got to pray on. Thousands of Christians slaughtered in Egypt. And the media blackout. Okay? It happens a lot with media. The media doesn't mention a lot of these things. So thousands of Christians slaughtered. This Egyptian businessman has revealed how thousands of Christians are being slaughtered in Egypt by Muslim extremists amid a total media blackout. This guy's coming forward without telling his name, under the protection of his, it talks about a couple things. Twin suicide bombing that happened last year and how many people died in that. So there is an out and out. Yeah, and the Bible talks about this persecution, slaughter, whatever you want to call it. We need to pray on that. That's all I wanted to say. Lord willing, I'll be on Friday. Right now, this afternoon I started having problems with a particular part of my mouth and the tooth, and it's an ongoing problem. May not be able to talk Friday. We'll see. But I prayed about it, so I'm going to trust Him and stop saying things like that. Maybe, I need to give it all to Him, just like everyone else needs to. Once we pray about it and know that He's listening and that He can do anything and that He will, if you only ask, we need to stop, and I need to stop because I just did it. I prayed about this, an hour before I came on here, and here I am saying maybe I'll be on Friday because of my teeth. I'm supposed to be wiping my hands of that and saying I'll be patient and wait, but He will take care of it if you ask Him. That's what we do as Christians, and I don't know, maybe we need to talk about that some more too, because it's I'm at peace mostly all the time. My faith has grown tremendously over the past year. And then the devil likes to stick in these little thorns and so on and so forth. So, I don't know, maybe we can talk about it sometime. What does that? How do we get that stuck in our heads? How can we get it out of our heads? What we need to pray about and for, and what we need to do to wait for a response in that prayer or from that prayer. Instead of, while we're waiting, we go and cry out to somebody else because we're not quite 100% sure that it will actually happen. Because we have this mindset, you know, he will do things if it's in his will. Well, that leaves a door wide open. It can go either way, right? So we need to not think about that. I know I need to stop thinking about it. I ask for it and I give it up, walk away, wipe my hands of it. That's it, done. That's when most of the prayers, the smaller ones that I've had enough of, gave it to him. He's taken care of. So I don't know why I would do this now. But anyways, we'll be continue to be tested. And when we're not tested, then I would worry. When I'm being tested, I know I'm being transformed. He's formed me into something new, and you into something new. So take the tribulations as they come. Try to be as at ease about it as you can. So, anyways, God bless everyone. I'm sorry for just rambling on. You know, love your family. Keep them in your sights at all time. Whatever, keep them close. There's too many things going on right now. And most of all, people, forgive each other. Forgive your family. Forgive them for what they said. Forgive them for something they didn't do. Something they didn't remember. It's not worth it. Give them. So with that, everyone, God bless. And we'll see you Friday, if not sooner. Peace out. Forgive your family. Forgive them for what they said. Forgive them for something they didn't do, something they didn't remember.